the tragedy of disappearance, of repression, of force, for the interests of a group of people or for an institution is not something which is just limited to Sindh. This is all over. This is a tragedy, this is a pain and agony of a lot of us. And I think forums like this should recognize that it's important to talk about those others as well. Include those voices, those cries, those sighs as well. And this is the opportunity which I'm taking here. You know, over 76 years, what has happened in Pakistan definitely is that military as an institution has expanded. And what I've seen is that it has evolved. So from a period which is 1958 to 1999 or 2008, a bit more 2008, was a period when the military would come and go. They would come, rule, then, leave running of the state to civilians, even, if it was just in name, unstable civilian governments, and then go back, then return. 2008, a fundamental shift happened in the thinking of the military. It shifted its emphasis from control of state to control of governments. And what we've seen, that every civilian government that has come after 2008, including the People's Party government 2008 to 2013, the Pakistan Muslim League end government 2013 to 2018, and then the 2018 onwards, and then the PDM. They've all allowed the military a greater role. It now has a role in economic decision making. And this is the most damaging thing that could happen. And now, on the basis of their partnership, of running the economy, being partners in giving direction to the economy, they want to expand the control and have more land, acquiring more land. And this is not something which is about to stop. The other problem is that the military is also expanding itself. So 2000, the period under Musharraf, Mr. Manzoor Singh briefly talked about the Musharraf period. Let me tell you what other things happened under the Musharraf government. Under Musharraf government, they also expanded the military's share of other regions. Let me put it the other way, other regions share in the military. So from predominantly 60s and 70s when Punjab was predominant, there's now a 17 to 20% share of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 40% share of Sindh, and under Musharraf, I think the least amount of share is of course Balochistan, and it's not entirely all Baloch, but in a lot of cases it's mainly people with Balochistan domicile. But in Sindh's case, it's a lot of people from Balochistan as well. I mean, in the last 2 years, what has happened, which has never happened in history before, that today there are 3 major generals, which means that they are ready to be elevated to lieutenant generals, are ethnic Sindhis. Soldiers, junior officers, also included. So this land distribution, be it in Sindh or in the rest of the country, I mean, they will partner in that, they will have that share as well. And that is something which is their primary mode of building, I mean, this is their formula of building nationalism as well. I just want to bring it to your attention that when we look at how land is being distributed, it's important to understand that it's not an outside problem, it's an inside problem as well. And in Sindh's case, you probably know better than I that this is very much an internal problem as well. The partner with the military is the Sindh government, which is a government Sindhis by the Sindhis. It is the People's Party government, which is ready to give them land, which is ready to, because for it is that, probably Bilawal Bhutto might become the next Prime Minister. And therefore, the serious governance issues have to be shared. I mean, it's a problem which is not just created by the military, and I'm not absolving it. What I'm saying is they have partners inside. And these are the inner battles that need to be fought. We cannot just say that there is, the problem in Sindh emanates from, just one direction. It is multi-dimensional. We heard this wonderful, excellent presentation on the state of health in Sindh. And those questions need to be seriously asked from the political government. And I think this forum should use itself to ask those very sharp, in fact, sharper questions about, if, elections are happening, people are voting, then, what is the direction of people's support? What is the direction of the government? I just end my presentation by saying that indeed Pakistan has become more sharply authoritarian. And this is not something which is about to go away. It is a civil-military partnership, and the only method that they have of getting people to support is use of force and through silencing. Silence and fear are the two keys that the state uses. Is the state going to become more political? I mean, I fear that what has happened is that the state itself has become apolitical, which means it doesn't want to follow any politics. People like me, and I'm sure Sulema, and there are many others, who keep saying, why are you killing the Baloch? Why are you killing Sindhis? Why are you killing people from tribal areas? Talk. But this is a state who just does not want to talk. It has gone dumb. It's become voiceless. It only believes in action, in beating and killing and using force. And using that force to create that fear that people follow policy. And I think the sad part is that of these partnerships that they have, the partnerships that they have with political parties, that is something which doesn't allow an Arab Spring to happen in Pakistan. And what I mean by Arab Spring is that people rallying, coming out in numbers and saying, yes, we know where the problem is. The problem is you, the state, and we're not going to tolerate it. And it's precisely this partnership which is creating that problem of not of confusing people more. I mean, today with the poor economy, one would expect, electricity bills going up, gas bills going up, people would congregate, people would come out, but no. Hunger and poverty also creates more fear. And that is where the problem is. We need to recognize that, understand, come together. Whoever has the voice and has the understanding to come together, talk amongst ourselves, not Sindhi for Sindhi, Punjabi for Punjabi, or Pashtun for Pashtun, or Baloch for Baloch, but people who deserve justice, who need justice to come together.